Hey everybody, Darryl Narby here. I just got done doing a complete video in which my equipment didn't work. So forgive me, I'm having to use a bad piece of equipment here with a hum. I just wanted to say something because it's been a while and I'm going to try to get through it without being real emotional, so forgive me. I want to say thank you to all our friends and family that have offered support, prayers, and love. My family, Rosemary's family. If you didn't know, my wife passed away on March 10th of this year. And I just wanted to do something here to tell a little bit of people about her. I want people to know that Ro loved many people, and I'm going to leave names out, unfortunately, by mistake, but I want people like Lynn to know how much she was loved. Mary Jane, Jerry, Amy, Heather, her sister Kathy, our nephew Christopher, her brother Joe, her brother's wife Wanda, our niece Brooke, our sister, or Rose's sister Sue, and her husband Craig. All wonderful people, wonderful family, and wonderful friends she had. Ro had three major passions in her life, and it was music, it was the teaching of music, and it was the greyhounds. She was a music teacher. She was actually in the New Brunswick Education Association, New Brunswick, New Jersey School District. She was head teacher at least once that I know of. Or she was head teacher, but she was teacher of the year at least once that I knew of. She had such a passion for classical music, such a passion for teaching children that may not see this in their culture or their environment. So she loved being able to introduce them to something. And she just has so many wonderful stories, some heartbreaking stories, but so much passion for teaching the kids. She's put on hundreds of performances, if not thousands. She also had that passion for the greyhounds. Greyhounds came into our life. I met Ro in 1993. I married her in 1996. We started to get involved with greyhounds and their advocacy and their adoptions. She had such a passion for all that, as I do, but she just, it was her heart was music and greyhounds. This past February 18th, we celebrated our 26-year anniversary in her hospital bed with angel food cake and strawberries. She was a strong fighter. She's been dealing with the kidney and liver issues for almost 7 years, and even almost 3 years ago, the doctors pulled me aside and got me prepared and told me that she only had literally weeks to months to live. She had multiple hospital stays in and out of the hospital, and her last stay, she was released on November 19th, because there was nothing more they said they could do for her. So she came into the hospice program here at home, and I want people to know that hospice is absolutely wonderful. Kimmy, Sue, Edie the chaplain, Edna the social worker, they were just wonderful people, wonderful support. If you can ever throw any kind of support to them, in your local hospice or hospice of Ithaca, please let me know and I'll give you the contact info. I know I'm just jumping through this, but I'm having technical difficulties. You're going to hear a hum. I apologize on the computer, but I just wanted to share some of this stuff. Rosemary and I were people of faith, and Rosemary had these 3 bracelets. One was amazing, the words to Amazing Grace. The next was the prayer from the St. Francis of Assisi, and the third was the Lord's Prayer, which I'll have at the end of this video that I did a candle last night that you're more than welcome to join and pray with me for. Or pray with me the Lord's Prayer. One of her biggest things was because of logistics and people's own health issues and everything going on with COVID and everything else. Logistically, it wasn't possible to have a church service where people from New York, New Jersey, and Arizona would come out. So I wanted to just do something here, but we firmly believe that our memories is where we live in people's hearts. So one of the biggest things she said to me was, please don't let people forget me. So if you could say a little prayer, if you knew her, think of a memory. Think of a memory. And if you had a story, share it with somebody. If you know somebody that that knew Ro, maybe let him know she had passed and that she probably loved him. If you didn't know her, if you knew her, you loved her. If you didn't know her, you missed out on a great person. She was a fighter. She was tough. She was funny. She was beautiful. She was kind. She didn't take no shit from anybody, including me. And it's just very important to me that gets out there. I want to read a letter. I came home. I picked up her ashes yesterday from the funeral home. I came home to a letter from her brother Joe, and I just want to read it real quick. Not for my own glory, but just a wonderful sentiment about Ro. It says, "Dear Darryl, we were so very sorry to hear about Ro. She was a wonderful person who touched many lives during the course of her life and career. It is impossible to know how many of her former students went on to establish careers in music or have enjoyed throughout their lives the knowledge she shared with them. Her life lives on through them. We would like to thank you, Darryl, for the love and support you gave Ro during these years you spent together. It was obvious to us that she loved you and held a very special place in her heart. We know it can be extremely difficult dealing with illness and the person you love. You've shown courage, strength, and devotion throughout these challenging months and weeks. We would like to thank you for being there for her and supporting her through her most difficult moments. We are here if you need us. You're in our daily prayers. Love, Joe and Wanda." That was just a wonderful note to come home to, especially with the ashes right next to me. Getting back to when she was teaching, I just want to make sure that I mentioned a couple people. Kim Harley and her husband, who were nice enough to come over for a visit. Just wonderful. I want to make sure that I mention Lynn, Mary Jane, Jerry, Amy, Heather, Kathy, Joe, and Sue, and Wanda, and Brooke, and all them. But a couple of the students, I want to make sure I mention Otis. You know, he still calls me Pop. God, Ro, just love you so much. And Justin, so proud of you both. You know, your people of expressing your faith out there and through music, which Ro had a big influence of. Also, Anissa, who used to help us. These are just a couple of the thousands of students that probably have gone past Ro. She had so many stories, good, bad, funny. Anyways, I just don't want people to forget her. I want to thank you for watching this, bearing with me for this technology, bearing through me for these tears. I do want to read just a favorite passage of Ro, and one that was on one of her bracelets. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restoreth my soul, and he guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table in the presence of my enemies, and you have anointed my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and loving kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That's what we believe. We believe Ro is at peace. She's in the loving arms of the Lord. Thank you for letting me rush through this video. I just wanted to get some of those things out there. If I left somebody's name out, please know it wasn't intentional. She's touched so many people's lives, and so many lives have touched her. She just had a passion for the people and the music and the dogs. And I just want to say thank you. And the clip here is I lit a candle last night and said the Lord prayer. And you feel free to welcome to join me in that prayer, as well as if you want to share a memory or a thought. So thank you very much. I love you, and thank you, and please pray for me, as I have a lot of challenges ahead of me, and I'm not used to doing all this stuff alone. So thank you.
Hi, I would like to invite anyone that would like to join me in the Lord's Prayer to say it with me as I light a candle. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.